This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on heat wave conditions and precautions to be taken. The participants are Dr. R.K. Jenamani, scientist, India Meteorological Department, and Anubha Rohatgi, anchor.
Amid scorching hot weather, the India Meteorological Department IMD in its latest forecast has predicted severe heatwave conditions in different parts of the country in the next few days, including in southern, central and western India. To discuss this issue and the precautions to take this summer season, I am now joined by Dr. R.K. Jenamani, who is a scientist with the IMD. Dr. Jenamani, welcome to the program.
Yeah, namaskar. Thank you.
Dr. Jenamani, first of all, for the benefit of our listeners, please explain what is a heat wave? How and when does it occur?
Yeah, actually heat wave is a terminology to define the high temperature. So number one is that we are receiving around 400-500 stations all over India regularly by 5:45, 6 p.m. the day maximum temperature. So those stations have a long period data also for historical data, say from 1901 or 1960, depending upon when those stations are operational. So when we take the average of long period data, so we have a normal temperature. Say today normal temperature for Delhi is 39. So if today Safdarjung airport is reporting 41, so above normal by 2 degree. But for heat wave for any district, if a station is reporting the actual temperature of the day from the normal temperature, it is 4.5 degree above or more. It may be 5 degree above, it may be 6 degrees, something like that. So more than 4.5 actual temperature is the definition of a heat wave over a district, depending on if district has the station. Otherwise, if we define that these met subdivision or state is under heat wave, we have to see at least 2 locations from the subdivision reporting temperature more than 4.5. That is the more than that normal plus 4.5 heat wave, and more than plus 6.5 is severe heat wave. Right. So that is the definition to define the terminology.
April saw record maximum temperatures in several parts of the country. What caused April to be so hot this year?
It is not all over India. It is mainly the South Peninsula and also Eastern Northeast India. You might have seen, or all our listeners might have heard, that Odisha, Bengal, this area experienced very long heat wave spell. City like Kolkata, like district Midnapur, like many district of Bengal, and Odisha also, like Varipada, Baleshwar, Angul, all these districts, even Bhubaneswar touched 45. So one day Kalaikunda, there is a Air Force base in Medinapur, it got 47 plus degree. And the spell started from 15th April over Odisha and 17th April over Bengal. So you can see, and it is finally abating today. Finally, the heat wave spell is ending today because of the cloud and rain spell starting. So last almost one can see 20 days heat wave spell, very long. So that's why we have only record-breaking temperature over Eastern India and South Peninsula this April 2024.
What is the forecast for May and June? Which parts of the country are likely to be affected the most and the least by heat waves?
If we see the pattern of this year, it is mainly the eastern worst affected and also partly the peninsular India like Rayalaseema, Tamil Nadu. But if we look at the western part of India or central part of India, we do not have any heat wave condition, including our national capital Delhi. How pleasant we have seen Rajasthan and others, temperature, day temperature was much below 40 degree. Only it has crossed 40 degree last 2 days. Coming to future, because still 2 months is there, and as we know that monsoon coming to northwest India like Delhi, it is late part of the June. So we have still 2 months left. So our prediction is that in the May month, what prediction we have given, that heat wave days, it will be more than normal over South Rajasthan, North Gujarat and central parts of India. But eastern part of India will be much less actually. That is our prediction. Now the heat wave zone will be mainly over northwest India and central India in May and June.
So are there any regions or parts in India which are normally as a rule very little affected by heat waves?
Yeah, naturally, as you know that the Himalayan region comes because there you get cold because of the snow cover and others like all the western Himalayan state covering Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, much less, and also eastern India like Assam, Meghalaya, all the northeastern states we get very less heat wave, almost nil, and then coming to like Andaman Nicobar, yes, Lakshadweep. So some of the coastal district less actually. Normally Konkan has a very less heat wave, but eastern part of India has a very high and fatal also because of high humidity. Particularly Andhra Pradesh, Odisha examples are there, very high vulnerability. Whereas northwest and central they are dry heat wave. So vulnerability is much higher in the eastern part of India, coastal area. Yeah.
You're talking about the vulnerability, you're talking about fatality. So my next question to you is, what are the adverse consequences of heat waves on be it people, be it agriculture, businesses, livestock or environment? Lately we've heard reports of forest fires also in Uttarakhand.
Actually, the heat wave, the impact or vulnerability, what exposure you are looking actually. So general population as it is, because we have to save lives actually. So general population, as you know, that body has some maximum tolerance, something like up to 30, 31 degree. But if it goes to 45, it is fatal. So one is the human population is very much vulnerable across each group if they stand in sunlight, work in the sunlight. So we strongly recommend not to be in the sunlight, direct exposure between 11 and 3 p.m. Similar also agriculture, as you know that normally this is a period of not much agriculture. Vegetables and others, they have to be regularly irrigated,
Yes,
depending on the crop health. Number 2. Number 3 is livestock like poultry, like cow and other animals who are very much essential. They have to be in the cold shade. They have to be given regular bathing. They have regular cold water. So that is livestock. Then other things like industry, as we know, like railway. India, we have population wise, if you see, almost 20 crore people travel daily in Indian railway, and they have so many trains travel making the trip. And similar, as you told, forest area, they have to be regularly protected. So government of India is going to last mile, power sector also, urban pockets also. So they are different vulnerability depending on which sector we are discussing here.
you are talking about, the railways, you're talking about people traveling. So I want to know from you that right now there is a general and some assembly elections happening in the country. And also, like you rightly said, that people travel quite a lot in summers, especially because of school holidays, etc. So does the IMD coordinate with different agencies such as the NDMA, the railways, or even the Election Commission right now to minimize the impact of intense weather, be it heat waves or monsoon?
Yeah, exactly. I think this is the right, time to convey that with the Indian Railway, we are giving customized. We have their railway network putting in our heat map, which are the red color area. We are giving clear signal. Like Eastern India was having regularly, we were sending that the zone of that part of India to be regulated from the heat wave. South Peninsula we had, Northwest India normal, so no worry. So like that also election, different phases were there for phase 1, phase 2, now phase 3 is there tomorrow.
Yes.
So right up to the phase 3 we have given, as I was telling, the heat wave was only restricted to the Southeast Peninsula, Eastern India. Maharashtra is not having heat wave, only Karnataka, Northeast Karnataka, 41, 43, it's okay. Otherwise Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh and West Uttar Pradesh, Assam, North Bengal, they are normal. So fortunately the heat wave is abating from most areas. So my input for tomorrow is that
Yes.
it's a good day to come out and vote in large actually.
We hear that the Met Department periodically issues alerts such as orange alert, red alert, etc. What are these and what are the criteria for issuing these alerts?
Actually interpretation of the warning, actually color coded warning. So highest level is the red color, like we have given when the temperature was 45 plus over Bengal and Odisha, we were continuously giving red color, lal rang ka warning. So that means action presumed to be taken, all restriction in place. People are going with water, people are taking rest at the given time, school are closed, many action. Hospitals are well prepared with ORS and additional beds. So red color means that. Orange means be prepared. Be prepared means you gear up actually. So that is the second stage of the alert. Yellow means be updated. Like we have given yellow color for Rajasthan for next 5 days, for Madhya Pradesh next 5 days. That means a heat wave spell may trigger in this area. So be updated if you are moving for all users. So that is the gradation of our alert.
What are the most important steps or precautions people should take to protect themselves from heat waves?
When we debate about heat wave against cyclone or any other extreme weather event, actually heat wave requires special preparation. For cyclone, as you know, vacant your house,
Yes.
cooperate with the administration, and that's all. But if you are talking from the heat wave, it is a long preparedness actually. You have to prepare that cold shade, you have to see your house getting correct exposure, getting less sunlight, and cover the rooftop also with green coverage. And coming to the inside the house, you should have a cooling system, you should have fan, you should have a air conditioning, because these are the necessary. Now coming when you are going out,
Yes.
so that is the maximum precaution one should take, particularly if you are going when the temperature is high. 11 o'clock the temperature start 41 and 41, 45 remain till 5:30 p.m. Like Northwest India, it continue to 7 p.m. So if you are going out first you should avoid going out during 11 to 3 p.m. we advise. Anyway, schools getting closed. You have seen wherever heat wave is there, school get closed. So that is one, children are safety. But the elders who are going out for anything, they should go out with sufficient cloth covering their body, carry umbrella so that heat does not directly affect you. But people are forced to do certain work for their livelihood, but take regular rest. Avoid doing the work during 11 to 3 p.m. Anyway, the labor ministry, other, they are looking at this aspect. And mostly people are not working at that time. But any activity going to market, it should be avoided between 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Now, in coping with such extreme heat, one comes across a term lately that one has heard about. It's Heat Action Plan, or HAP. Can you explain what is HAP and how does agencies formulate this plan to help cope with heat wave conditions?
Number one priority in the heat action plan is identify your vulnerable area. Say, as we know that it started with the Ahmedabad heat action plan in 2015. Now it has spread almost all cities. Delhi has also heat action plan. So first heat action plan is you analyze your past data, see the threshold and see the vulnerability. Like we have seen, slum population, then urban area, urban heat island. So all those areas are identified. Like in case of Delhi, our Pritampura recorded high temperature compared to East Delhi, like Marwar, because that is the Jamuna River natural. And even Safdarjung or our Lodi Road area, very less temperature, 3 to 4 degree. So identify your hotspot, number one. Number two, identify who are vulnerable actually. Particularly, as you know, that poor people, they are more vulnerable because of the absence of the many aspects, like they have a tin cover, highly crowded, air conditioning has a deficiency. So heat action plan means number one is support them. Second is preparedness, like hospital preparedness, IMD also, the meteorological service, what is the early warning, like spreading of the popular, like what is the color code message, what action at what color code. So all these stakeholders, including the IMD, then drinking water supply division, all these they sat together, they sign a common document. At what they say, heat wave spell is very long, sometimes it continues, 10 days, 20 days. So they take action and hospitals are well prepared with ORS, with sufficient beds, and accordingly the power, the electricity department, power interruption should not be there, because that will help you to face the severity with minimum impact.
So now when can we expect the heat wave conditions to start receding, and what's the prediction for the onset of monsoon for the country?
Currently, if we talk about the heat wave spell, almost receded. Eastern India has gone, no warning is there. Southeast Peninsula anyhow is going from tomorrow because of the rain, pre-monsoon rain. Northwest India, some fresh spell will start. So that is the status next 7 days. Coming to the monsoon, actually monsoon will be very good actually, because the El Nino, which is mostly the killing, monsoon and El Nino, they are very strongly related. So El Nino will be reversed to La Nina. I mean, the warmer sea surface temperature which was prevailing over eastern equatorial Pacific is reversing back and becoming the normal to La Nina, cooling. So that way it is favoring Indian monsoon to start and perform better actually.
Last week there was heat mapping done in Delhi. So what is heat mapping and what is the role in prediction of heat waves? Actually,
heat mapping means identify the land cover actually. Where are your green cover? Where are your concretization? So I can note that if we see West Delhi, we have airport and then majority part covered by the concrete house, whereas East Delhi is more green. So heat mapping means where are the high temperature, where are the low temperature. So that will give you an idea of the vulnerability. So that is the main objective of the heat mapping.
And what is your prediction for the overall monsoon for the country?
Yeah, monsoon actually, as I was telling, because the El Nino will not be there by June or mid-monsoon. So monsoon forecast is that all India 106% higher than the normal. It will be a better monsoon. And we have to wait for that. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming to the studio and discussing this very important issue with us.
Thank you. Namaskar.
You were listening to a discussion on heat wave conditions and precautions to be taken. The participants were Dr. R.K. Jainamani, scientist, India Meteorological Department, and Anubha Rohatgi, anchor. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official.